Hi everybody, it's Kara here from Boho Berry, and I am coming to you today with one of my very last videos before I head off on my summer road trip. And for those of you that have been following me on Instagram and on my blog, then you know that I'm about to head out on a 2-week summer road trip with my daughter. Not to fear, I will still be posting new blog posts and videos, a little bit more of a limited schedule. I'm going to have some vlog type videos as well, kind of documenting our adventures, but I will still be around, I promise, just not quite as active as usual over the summer. So today I just really wanted to walk you through something that I've been working on, and this is a project that I've had in my mind for quite some time now. If you remember, in my last bullet journal flip through, I actually had my initial plan for our summer road trip. And moving into this new bullet journal and it getting a lot closer to the date, I really wanted to kind of map out and make some kind of more solid plans of what we're going to do on our road trip this summer. So the first thing I want to show you is just the spread layout that I decided to do for our road trip. This map of the United States, I just found it online and I printed it onto sticker paper, and then I cut it down obviously and just stuck that sticker paper into my bullet journal. I know that there's lots of ways to trace maps and draw maps, but I just wanted to keep it super simple, so I just printed it on the sticker paper, stuck it in there, and then I kind of mapped out our route that we're going to be driving this summer. And then these are pretty much our main stops along the way. I also have some detour ideas for if we have extra time, and then some ideas of what I want to bring along for my daughter. And then I had this little Helen Keller quote that I put down here that I really love. It says, "Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all." And I've always loved that quote, so I wanted to put that in there. But as you can see, I kept this super simple, and my plan for this road trip is just to kind of wing it. I have family in Georgia and Florida, which is why we're heading down that way, and then we'll just kind of be driving back up the East Coast, back towards New Jersey where we live. And along the way I have a few stops. So the first place I want to take her is Ruby Falls near Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've always heard that is super cool, so I want to take her to do that. Then we'll have a family visit in Georgia. Gainesville, Florida is where I was born and where I went to high school, so I want to kind of show her around Gainesville. Go Gators to any of you watching. And then Lady Lake, we'll visit my dad in Florida. Then as we kind of head up the East Coast, my planned stops are Savannah, Georgia. One thing that I wanted to do there was one of their famous trolley tours, and I thought that would be something really cool for me and the kiddo to do together. Then we'll be stopping in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for a beach day. I have never been to Myrtle Beach personally, and Bella hasn't either, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Then we'll be moving up to Virginia Beach, Virginia. I actually lived there for a few years, so I'm really excited to show that to Bella as well. Then we are going to be going up to Richmond, Virginia, and my hope while I'm there is to stop by the Goulet Pen Company and kind of show her around and get to see everybody there. And then our last stop is going to be Baltimore, Maryland. I used to live right outside of Baltimore in College Park, and I remember doing the whole touristy thing and going to the Inner Harbor, and I really liked it, and I thought that would be something that she would really enjoy as well. As far as detours go, I have just these 3. I'm not sure about the Orlando theme parks. She did get to go earlier in the summer, so I'm not sure if we're going to do that, but there's plenty of stuff in that Florida area that we can get to, kind of depending on what time we have. Then while we are in Georgia, my mom lives right outside of Georgia in Athens, about an hour away. So I thought we could take her to the Atlanta Aquarium. And then between Virginia Beach and Richmond, there's also Williamsburg, which anyone who's familiar, it's full of historic things. There's a Busch Gardens there, so lots of cool stuff to see and do in Williamsburg. So those are some of I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind for things that we might want to do besides what I already have planned, if that makes sense. All right, so after that, these are things that I kind of wanted to do for Bella, for her to have some fun and be able to kind of do some activities in the car. And I thought of just kind of printing off like road trip bingo, do a little travel journal for her, the license plate game, alphabet I Spy, things like that. And I'll show you here in a minute. I actually ended up going a little overboard with it, but we'll get there. All right, after that, let's see, I had a few days, and then this is my kind of further planning. I always like to do one of these before I go lists anytime I'm about to leave. The idea here is these are all the things that I need to get done before I leave on vacation or on my next trip. And like I do everywhere else, I like to split that up into home, business, and personal. I have quite a few things around the house. We're going to be gone for quite some time, so I want to make sure that things are done, everything's clean, trash is taken out, mail is held, get an oil change in my car, make sure all the electronics are unplugged, thermostat is turned up, all those things. I want to make sure all that gets done before we leave. I have stuff that I want to get done for my business before we leave. So an email autoresponder, a tribe update. So I'm going to send out an email to the tribe tomorrow to let everybody know kind of what's going on for the next few weeks. My Etsy shop is going to be digital only while I'm gone. So I need to go in there and adjust that. Obviously, I'm not going to be shipping, printing, and cutting stickers while I'm out on the road. So, and then just a few other things that I want to finish up business-wise before I go. And then personal, I have some other stuff here, just a mani-pedi, haircut. I need to email my mother, portioning out dog food for the roads, things like that. And then my packing list. I always do a full packing list before every trip. I like to kind of keep it as minimal as possible. So I know this doesn't look like a huge list. Of course, there's always things I end up throwing in there on top of that, but I try to pack as light as possible. And we are going to have some laundry options along the way, so I don't have to worry too much about any of that. But this is just my personal packing list for the trip. All right, so having shown you all of that, what I really want to show you is what I've been working on, and that is the travel journal that I'm making for my daughter for our trip. Now, I got these adorable notebooks. These are Papaya Art Notebooks. You can find them at papayaart.com. See if I can zoom in so you can see that. And these are called the Sketch and Scribble Set. And each set has one lined notebook and one blank notebook. There's this set. I also got this one here. I'm not sure if I'll use them both, but my idea was to make kind of a traveler's notebook style journal for her for the summer. So I actually ordered a faux dory, which is a traveler's notebook style cover. So these inserts will fit into that notebook. It has not arrived yet, so I haven't been able to put the whole thing together. But I just I did a little intro here for her, just a little note from me to her. So this one I'm going to leave blank for her to write in as much as she wants. And then this second one that's a blank notebook, I decided to kind of make it like an activity book for her. So this is not finished by any means. I have a lot more I want to do in it, but I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to do a whole video once I put all this together to kind of show you everything, but I couldn't wait to kind of share what I'm working on here. Inside the front cover, I did this quote. I actually found this on Pinterest. So this is it's not me. I just copied it from something I saw on Pinterest. But it says, "You are an explorer. Your mission is to document and observe the world around you as if you've never seen it before. Take notes, collect things you find on your travels, document your findings, notice patterns, copy, trace, focus on one thing at a time, record what you are drawn to." So I thought that was super fitting. I decided to do a little doodle of the globe down there at the bottom, and then we dive in. This says Summer Road Trip 2016. I've got a little spot for a picture to go here of me and her at the beginning of our trip, and then I've got a start date, end date, and a little place for her to do some journaling there at the bottom. This page I actually left blank because I want to replicate that planning spread that I had in my bullet journal. I want to replicate that in here, so I'm going to print off half of the United States map on a sticker sheet, doodle it out, and kind of write down what our plans are for the summer. So I haven't done that yet. Then I have a license plates of the USA. This was always one of my favorite games to play in the car on road trips as a kid. So you just try to find all of the different license plates from all around the US. And then I just said color in each square as you find them, so she can color them however she wants. And then Alphabet I Spy is another game that I always had a lot of fun with. And you just find objects as we're driving or as we're going that start with each letter of the alphabet. And then our road trip bingo. This one is super fun. I saw this idea online. I thought it was adorable. And you'll see I left the page on the right hand side blank here. That's because I'm actually going to put kind of an envelope here with some stickers. I'm going to make some stickers that fit into each of these squares with kind of like a doodle of each item. So I'll have like a little dog, a stop sign, a car, campground, all those things, so she can slap the sticker on and color it in as she finds things. And then after that, I have kind of a one-page little fact sheet about each state that we're going to be driving through. So we're starting out in Missouri. I've got the state slogan, the capital, when the state was founded, and then a fun little fact about each state. So I'm going to have the outline of each state here with the abbreviation. I'll have a little doodle, and then these little frames are actually the exact size of the Instax camera mini film. So it's like a little Polaroid. I actually bought her an Instax camera for her birthday this year. So my hope is that each state that we're in, we'll pause, take a little picture. She can add that in here. And I've only done these 2 states so far, but I have everything else laid out so that we can do all of our other states that we go through for the rest of the trip. And then after that, I'm going to leave it pretty much blank for her to sketch and journal. So my plan is to kind of washi tape the edge, make this kind of a divider, and then let her be able to sketch and doodle whatever she wants after that point. But I thought it would be super fun for her to have all these different little activities along the way. So I'm really, really excited about that. Again, this is all going to go into a big traveler's notebook style cover. So I'm going to have stickers, I'm going to have little journal cards, little die cuts, all sorts of different things for her on the road trip so that she can get as creative as she wants to get. So I'm super excited about this. I cannot wait to share this when it's done with you all. I just wanted to kind of show you what I've been working on. If you haven't checked it out yet, definitely go check out my summer schedule blog post over on the blog. I'll link that in the show notes below for you. But just so you kind of get an idea of what my schedule is going to be like this summer, I'm going to be a pretty busy person this summer, so I'm not going to have quite as much time for content creation as I normally do. But if you want to get the full details on everything, definitely head on over there. If you have questions, comments, anything you want to know more about, absolutely let me know. I'll link to these notebooks down below as well. I'm kind of in love with them. And I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.